Hello everyone, this is Sherry Bretz. I'm doing another video to give you a new report of what's happening in my town. As you're well aware, someone is stalking me and using weapons to invade my mind. And they contact me through an anonymous character online who says that they worship the devil and that they wanted to destroy my rosy world and show me that evil's real. So through all these years, they have been keeping me sleep deprived to get to different chambers of my mind, they said. And then about a month ago or two, they said, well, they finally broke down all the walls and they've made me certifiably insane. They said what this means to them is they're going to dissect my mind with these weapons until they get to the core of it and find secrets. They think I have secrets about the universe. They said I'm gifted by God. I have this psychic power that I was born with, which I don't believe is true. I mean, I might be psychic, but it's not some power that can help them let the demons out, which they say from hell. But there's something in the universe they say I must find, something that is only given to God's chosen person. Only they can let their mind go far enough to give this dark group whatever they think they want to give, I guess, Satan full power or open the gates to hell or something. This is all fantasy sounding, but what they're doing to my mind is all real. And so yesterday it got so bad. Not only do they make it work, I can't do math anymore, and I used to be real good. I've lost my vocabulary. I'm no good at grammar, and I got an A at UCLA for grammar. They're taking away all this, and they send me gay things all the time and say part of this is a gay revolution. And I tell them that I'm not against gays. They said, yeah, but you're Christian, and we're going to kill Christians. And they have these weapons, and then that's their go, and they send me Star Wars things constantly. And one night when they tried to run me over in my car, I had just left the Apple store trying to get a script back they had stolen, and I was followed. And this was in the month of October, and they'd stolen the script off my computer and they put it in a Warner Brothers movie. And on the way home, the strange car out of the middle of nowhere, just old beat up car, just pulls right out in front of a 2-lane road out of a side street and stops to make me slam on my brakes. Well, as I'm stopped, this car behind me speeds up and starts just coming at me and not even trying to slow down. But luckily at the last minute, my car has turbo. It was like God took the wheel. I have a Saturn Sky, and I just whipped around that car so quickly. And I look back, within a minute, the car that was stalled was gone, and so was the car that did this. So I went to the police station and I reported it. And then I went to Kinko's Copies, because I didn't have a cell phone at this time, to call my husband. And my husband said, oh, Sherry, somebody broke in, and I found your cat, and she's in a cage, and the cage is in the floor upside down. It was a cage that I had in my office that I had once had a baby kitten in. And then I came home and the cat couldn't walk. The cat was just almost brainless. It had been beaten in the head so bad. I took her to the vet not thinking she'd make it, and the vet didn't think she would make it. It took her a month where she could walk, but she always staggered after that, and she had a brain damage. Then before that, they started putting impaled mice in my house with tweezers, like in a pattern. In the snow, they put, it looked like a pentagram around my house. Someone had come and cut out these triangles all around my house. And like in the church, just one house over, there's a church. They started leaving deer skins in the parking lot. Not the carcass, it's just the skin. And a lot of black cars follow me, a lot of skulls come on my property. And before I laid down today and they started attacking my heart, they sent me a video of a detective that murders a woman. I think it was called Screams in the Night, okay? It's an old black and white movie. There was a girl named Vicki Lynn, and she had drawn the interest of high society, and he didn't like it that high society was becoming more interested in her. And they sent me another video the night before of a man who comes undercover in a small town and sees a lot of bad things going on. So he secretly does undercover work to report these crimes, and then he goes before the Supreme Court. Before I laid down today, they had sent me these videos. I watched one last night, and I watched the other one the night before. So they're just really playing with my head. So I started having shortness of breath, just like my husband did yesterday. He never has that when he was trying to sleep. He got up, he was fine. I got up about an hour ago, and as you can see, I have a little trouble getting complete breath, but it's straightened out. And so they kill people in their sleep, or they bring them close to death. And what they're trying to do is keep me a part of the brain program, because lately I've been trying to repair my brain. You don't know what it's like to spend 5 years and you can only get 3 hours sleep a night in 5 years, and you go to the emergency room twice because they tell you you're sleep deprived. You just don't know what it's like to have accidents because you can't sleep more than 3 hours. That was all a part of breaking me down, they said. But then last night was the first time before I laid down that I felt like there was hardly nothing left of me. They said that they would get rid of me. And I know what they mean. They really are in your mind. This one person alone, the devil worshiper who calls himself Dana online, which is really, I believe, a man impersonating a woman. And they said they're going to do this until they're completely in my mind. Then they're going to kill me, and they're going to take me to hell, because they will control my thoughts, which control my actions. Now this got to be Satan. Who else would give man the power to do this? But I know it's a slow process, but they finally reached that mark, and they know it. They know it. They said they could not kill me in a sacrifice until they had complete control of my mind, and then they want control of my assets. They said all my assets. And I came home last night, and I was so mentally impaired. Not only can I not do math, and I can't think straight, that person had finally just pushed me out to where it hurts to try to think about the past. It's my memory's a blur. If I try to think, I get really frightened, and I can't add. This has just been since they told me to get out in May, or they told me that they would kill me or make me so brain damaged they get full control of me. This has been since May, and they tell me online the locals have done this to me, and they've enjoyed taking my brain because they said, we want you out of your house. They always tell me they want me out of my comfort zone, and they say, we're completely destroying you because you will not be our slave, and you've been our slave for. I noticed in 2008 they were putting stuff in my home and telling me what I was saying in my home. I noticed in was it 8 years ago? Not 2008. I'm sorry. I noticed 8 years ago, not 2008. I noticed 8 years ago these things happening. I noticed them doing terrible things and then hacking my cell phone and telling me what they were doing. And they since then, since they sent someone to my house and they wanted to come for a visit, I hadn't seen in 10 years, and then all my computer monitor images started leaning toward the window. Whatever they put in here gave them the way they gave them access to my home. Things have gone downhill ever since, and they have really tried to keep me totally enslaved. And they tell me, well, if I don't do what they say, then they'll use my stepkids to take everything away and have me eat out of garbage cans. And then they somebody flies my stepson here for the first time since he was 10 years old to meet with officials, and he said he's here on government business. At the same day, they were making my garage door go up and down, and they're telling me, stay in the program, let the beast devour you, let the beast in, let the beast in. We will do whatever it takes to get the beast in. And they've got the weapons to just totally annihilate your mind and your body, and they're doing it slowly. And now my husband all of a sudden is having trouble breathing. It's like he did it the first night, I did it the other night. And they want control, but more than that, they want your soul. And then last night, it was so bad, I realized I can't push them out at all anymore. It's impossible. They destroy your willpower. They destroy your brain. And once you can't push them out anymore, you don't have an identity anymore. You're not even your own possession anymore. They have taken complete control of your whole being because they have your mind. And then they send all these armies that use the deer antler symbols and have the deer antlers on their cars, like the Hunt Club. They send all this in their messages to me online and their threats. And I'll tell you another way I can prove to you these group exists. Besides all of my computer evidence and all my stories they stole that wrote about crimes they told me they were going to commit before they did it. I wrote about them before 2008. 2004, I started writing about being followed by the people with the deer antlers, the mine invaders that were part of this Hunt Club. The first year I that they used my synopsis for a movie called Hostel. I just wrote about people being abducted and taken overseas and bad things happening to them because they stayed in a youth hostel. I didn't go into detail about all the things they put in the movie. But Lionsgate sent a banner that advertised the trailer and then had their logo and then blew my computer out, okay? And then afterwards that movie was done. Well, I knew the Hunt Club, and that was in that movie, was probably symbolic of the Hunt Club that's following me. And John Saul did a story called the Manhattan Hunt Club. But in my story, I was talking about the people, but I talked about the deer antlers and all that, and how this Hunt Club is having all their people use the deer antler signs, and they've even got one of my stepkids having her kids wear the deer antlers and putting the symbols on her dining room furniture chairs. And they have my other stepson holding a snake and putting the phoenix on his boat. This is all like Nazi stuff, but if you look through their own horror movies, you will see the deer antlers in the background of most of them. It's a symbolic club, and it could even be a government related club. But they wanted me to see the movie Get Out, when they were trying to get me to leave my home. They've been sending it to me all the time, so I finally went and seen the movie. Well, it describes the people that are doing this to my town that have those deer things. I've been sending license plates and stalkers on video to the police for years, of people following me, license plates, everything, calling a detective regularly and say, can you run these plates for me? You know, I always ask them, please run these plates for me. I'm being followed by these people. It has been an endless nightmare, but they love the hunt. And I have not ever wanted to be a part of this group. I've always ran from this group. I don't want to even know the people that are in it, but they like to chase you down, hunt you down, and it's so wicked. And I wouldn't be surprised if these weren't the people that got to be friendly with Cary Stayner before he thought he murdered those people in Yosemite Park. He was in a daze, and he was a loner, and his little brother had been abducted by a pedophile and kept for years. And when his little brother came out and decided to go public, he had the same thing happen to him that almost happened to me that night. A motorcycle pulled out in front of him from somebody from Mexico or somewhere. He slammed on his brakes, and then somebody else hit him from behind. I know what it was. I'm sorry. I'm just confused. He was on a motorcycle. He rode a motorcycle back and forth to work. I think he worked at Pizza Hut. He was getting off work. It was like 1 a.m, and the car came out in front of him on his motorcycle. And then another car came from behind him and hit him. Just the same kind of staging like they did when they wanted to keep me from telling the world that they had used my script off my computer and put it in a Warner Brothers movie. They did not want me to tell people that. And I think Warner Brothers is linked with Disney, because I'm getting people, Disney sending me stuff all the time, MK Ultra things. And so that was really strange that the two things were so similar. But when I started talking to Cary Stayner's mom, I phoned her 3 times and asking her if Cary had ever been violent or anything before that. She said he was a sweet boy that was pining for his little brother, that would go out and make a wish on the stars. But he did have a fixation with the devil, because he drew devil comics. And these people are into comics, and they're into video games. And he had been drawing pictures of a group that he thought was following him called the Thought Police, and they looked like policemen with badges, but he drew little smiley faces on them. They were the Thought Police, he said, and they were after his mind. And he had been institutionalized for a month before those crimes occurred. And they're trying to get me to go there. And when they first started doing this to me, they said I was beauty and innocence too powerful to resist. And they saw me at the conference in 1997. They sent me an invite to go to the My Writers Conference. And a lot of people there had CIA-looking symbols and NATO symbols at their pages. And they would use it at their websites. I didn't think nothing of it. And then I realized my stuff started appearing in their films and books with real human victims. And my name was being put in their books. And I was the victim. And it's like you get chosen, and then they tell me I have a gift, a powerful gift that they want. So this nightmare has been going on for a long time. But as long as I could defend myself and I had good willpower, I was not backing down. But now they've taken that away, and they said they would. But they said the ultimate is to kill me and show me that hell is real when I have no control as to where they send my soul, because they're in my mind. They're a part of me, and they can read your thoughts. The mind is very frail. I mean, if you can do things with computers and send things into space, what's the human brain? And these people, they think they get some kind of energy off making me suffer through my life force, because when I am suffering It's feeding them like psychic vampires, but it's also giving them my energy, because when you're in pain, you can't put your mind somewhere else. It's the pain's excruciating. Like last night, it was my kidneys and my bladder. They tell me they're going to make me pee on myself. They actually do. They've told me before they're going to make me have a bowel movement. They actually do. And then at the same time, they say they've come in my closet and I have a doll collection. They tell me everything's in my home. They do all these things. They used to tell me on the internet before I knew what was going on where I parked my car. And this film director would contact me that they saw me at the Stephen King site. They started all using my work, these film directors. He'd contact me and tell me the Watchers were coming after me because they had gotten me to reveal things they said to me on the computer, and it had gotten the interest of the Watchers because they were feeding me things. I mean, one of these people in the group is an ex-psychologist. Some of these people worked in mental hospitals that are a part of this group. This is a form of these are just Nazis, and I think the Holocaust was probably an experiment in human slavery and mind control, because a lot of these doctors seem to be affiliated with the space program and work in top hospitals. So this is all a thrill to them, and they all worship the devil.